Hi, this is TV comedy impressionist Christopher G from the other side of the pond saying hi, and I love the Queen Silvy show.
Welcome to the Queen Silvy Show. Tune in at 11, good laugh, good vibe, that's for sure. Get smooth with Tim, get smooth with Tim. They have you running like you popped the pill. Once you hear the show, you ain't gonna want it to end. Get creative with the sounds you can make with your mouth. Reaching all over the world, Queen Silvy in the house. Award-winning show, got the #1 spot, look out. It's the Queen Silvy Show. 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 Look out.
Hi, this is Joe Mass. You are listening to the Queen Silvy Show. You are now part of the royalty.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live, it's time for the silky smooth sounds of Smooth Tim and Her Majesty herself, Queen Silvy.
Hey, it is Smooth Tim, and thank you for dropping in on us on another terrific Tuesday on the Queen Silvy Show. It is now my absolute pleasure to bring to you the world's sexiest granny, everybody's favorite comedian, the Queen herself, Queen Silvy.
Yes, it is me, Queen Silvy. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in this great world today. Yes, I am Queen Silvy of the multiple award-winning The Queen Silvy Show on this terrific Tuesday. Oh, you are so in for a treat. You know what I feel like doing? Ruff, ruff.
Some woofing?
Yeah, I feel like barking. It's one of them dog-tastic days, bringing you some great information. Oh, you are so in for a treat indeed. Do be kind. Spread the word around for someone else to come in and get some of this greatness we have in store for you. Smooth, how are you today?
I am doing terrific on this Tuesday, Queen, and might I ask, how are you doing?
As always, I'm supercalifragilistic.
Expialidocious, I suppose, is 24/7, 365. Queen Silvy, you are just simply...
amazing.
Yes, you are.
True that. I am amazing. But you are amazing, Smooth. You are amazing, as well as our amazing guests and announcements for today, right?
Well, I'm telling you, this woman just does a little bit of everything.
Right on.
But I think we're here today to talk specifically about spiritual dog training. And that would be Caroline Griffith coming to us from the UK across the pond. And we'll welcome her aboard in just a moment.
Yes.
And in our announcements, Queen, of course, our hearts and prayers going out to the world, everything going on, especially over in Europe. Hopefully they get that resolved. I mean, come on, it's getting near Christmas. Just love one another.
Right on.
Also, if you would, please take a look at the top of the screen. You're going to see scrolling ways to get a hold of the Queen and myself. More importantly, go to www.thequeensylvyshow.com. Go to the contact tab, scroll on down and give us your email, and we'll get you hooked up with what we're doing, and you can let us know if you need us to help you in any way, including, hey, maybe you need us in your prayer chain, whatever it may be, we're here to help you out.
That's right.
Also, if you would, because you are worth it, Foxy 5 Jewelry. Sassy, elegant, and affordable jewelry and accessories for you and or that someone special. Kind of like you, Queen, right?
Yeah.
And you look fabulous today.
Oh, stop it, Smooth.
But in any regard, go ahead and get a hold of Monica Wright on Facebook or visit her website at www.foxy5jewelry.com. Another way to keep up with us is to go to our YouTube channel. So simply go to YouTube and in the search engine, type in The Queen Silvy Show. You will get a response of all three of our shows, as well as other projects, movies, and things that the Queen are involved in. So go ahead, and while you're there, please subscribe to The Queen Silvy Show on YouTube. And how your lawn looks says a lot about you. So put that lawn care maintenance into the hands of a professional who really cares. That would be Top Notch Lawn Care of Toledo, Ohio. They are reasonable, reliable, bonded, and insured, and they have commercial residential services available for you all year long. Go ahead and give them a call or text for a free estimate, 419-708-0005. Analytics from last week's show.
Yeah.
Queen, Canada, Ireland, Jamaica, New Zealand, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Thank you all for dropping on in with us. We greatly appreciate your company.
We certainly do. Matter of fact, if you are watching this live, I want you to know Smooth and myself, we love and appreciate you. And if you're watching this later on our archive, Smooth,
our love is everlasting.
Our love is everlasting. We love and appreciate you on this terrific Tuesday, the Queen Silvy Show. I am honored and thankful that you are here today. Do be kind, as I said before, and spread the word for someone to get some of this greatness. The phone lines are open. If you love to call in and ask our guest a question, give a shout out or holler at Smooth or myself. That number is 817-602-0577. That is the number to the Queen Silvy Show. So before I get things going with my first beautiful guest, what I'd like to do at this moment is accept that. But I'd like to share some motivational words from the Queen Silvy Show to you. You know, the world would be a better place if everyone had the ability to love unconditionally as a dog. And I believe that the only thing on this earth that loves you more than he loves himself is our pet, our dog. You know, dogs have a way of finding the people who need them and fulfilling that emptiness we didn't even know we had. I call that magic, because our pets are so worthy. So would you please be the amazing pet parent that your dog thinks you are? Believe it or not, dogs are not our whole world, but they make our lives whole. And those are some motivational words from the Queen Silvy Show to you. Yes, yes, yes. Again, I'm honored and thankful that you are here listening and watching in on the Queen Silvy Show. You are so in for some greatness as I welcome my first guest from United Kingdom with over 20 years working with natural pet care and holistic training techniques. She's a pet industry nutrition consultant, animal healer and communicator, yoga teacher, professional hypnotherapist, author and founder at Canine Flow, a truly unique training technique that offers retreats that enable you to understand your dog's motivations, their emotional energy, and the influence of your subconscious on your dog's behavior.
You got me sold already.
Right on. She's known as a spiritual dog trainer. So I introduce to you Caroline Griffith. Woo!
Hello.
You
Hi.
are amazing. Totally amazing. Thank you for taking the time and being here on the show. Let me begin a little bit about you. I mean, what would be a few things that you want people to know about Caroline Griffith and her philosophy?
Wow. Okay. That's thrown me on the spot a bit. So I see dogs a little bit differently. I kind of think that I see the other half of the story. So I would like people to know that there's more to their dog than their dog's thinking and their dog's mind or their dog's neuro pathway. That the dog has the biggest heart per body mass of any creature walking the planet. So that dog is really, it's part of them. You're like one in the same. So yeah, like there's more to the dog. It is the biggest thing that I'd like people to know. Yeah.
I kind of agree with you. We have we have two now, but we first had Missy Boxer. She's in her senior years now, but yes, we've learned so much from her through all these decades. And you're the mom to a beautiful 3-leg rescue dog. Is it Fusa?
Yes, Fusa. She's actually I rescued her from the dog meat trade. Yeah, over in Asia.
So what have you, since having Fuchsia, how has Fuchsia affected your life and your teachings?
She's an integral part of it. She's a very calm dog. And I think most people that meet her can't quite believe how calm she is. Yeah, she's getting a little bit older now, so because of that she's getting some physical tension. So she doesn't always want other dogs to come around looking at her missing leg. She didn't mind before. Lots of dogs would be like, oh, they sniff around, don't they, and then they can't believe it that there's a leg missing. But so she's showing a lot of my teachings in that as well. But she is very calm, so she's an integral part of Canine Flow, really. And she connects with me and keeps me going in terms of understanding the soul of a dog.
That's good. I learned from Missy Boxer as well. They are really smart, and some people just don't know the just of how special our pets are. I call it here pet parent. I don't know. Can you refer to? I'm a pet parent. She's our baby. But I know for you, since teenage years, I want to think. 16 maybe, in one way or another, you have been involved with animals and their care. But now for you, with all this experience, at what point was it that you decided to really take it professionally into the pet industry?
Well, I worked professionally from when I was 16. I knew I wanted to work with dogs. But in terms of starting Canine Flow and starting that side of things, that was about 14 years ago, when I really wanted to go on some kind of retreat that I could take my dog to, and I couldn't find one anywhere. So I began to think to myself, well, I've got all these different skills. I could actually run one of these retreats myself. So I put one on just with my friends, just at first, just to see how it would all pan out. And it went so well. And I had lots of people wanting to come that I didn't know. So I ran more, and 14 years later, here I am still running these tremendous transformational retreats for people and their dogs. And I also have an online course version of the retreat.
That is so cool.
I did come over to the USA. I came to Boulder.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Oh, Colorado.
Yeah. So
cold up there.
It wasn't too bad. It rained a little bit, but it wasn't too bad.
We don't.
Right.
Quite warm when I was there. Yeah. So, but I'd love to come again. However, with the way travel's been lately,
right,
in the last years, it hasn't happened. But that was just beforehand.
Well, let me know if you ever do come this way. Oh, I would love to not only be there and participate, but share that out to everyone here in the United States. So, over a span of 14, 15 years, however many years it is that you've had canine flow. What is your experience? What did you do to teach yourself to share some of your accomplishments and your education, if you will?
Yeah, so I worked when I left school in a kennels, and it was quite an open kennels in that we would allow people to board their dogs if they hadn't had the veterinary vaccines, if they'd had the homeopathic vaccines. We also fed all the dogs in the kennels fresh food. So I was really straight away, I was working in the realm where we think outside the box. And we're able to see things a little bit differently. And I saw so many dogs get better from the fresh food they were eating and from not using the more traditional chemical
Yeah, we're
approaches
going to
to
talk about that in a
canine.
minute because I
Yeah,
think that is
so I
very
saw
interesting.
this and I wanted to know why. I wanted to know why this sort of thing was happening. And once you start going down that path, you soon realize that whilst there are
No,
mostly
yeah, I can't hear you either.
molecular explanations, it kind of goes beyond that. There's some other magic that's happening when you would use herbal medicine that goes beyond the molecular properties of that plant. And I wanted to know what that was. And that really got me looking at the relationship between vibration and frequency
Mm.
and energy and emotions, and how all that is linked in together, and how that has been called, it's been called woo woo for a long time, but all it really is an emotion. It's emotional energy that we all feel and we all give out. We all give out our emotions in different ways, whether we're doing it in a creative way, painting, or whether we're maybe upset about something and we lash out in some way using our hands. We're all giving out this emotional energy. And I realized that there really, it wasn't woo woo. This was just normal for us to have this emotional energy and for us to have an energy aspect to ourselves. So that's kind of where it came from, is that wonder and that intrigue. I then went on, because you become a bit of a sponge and you want to learn as much as you can, and I went on to do various different courses, which I then pulled together to be able to run these retreats.
Mhm.
So, as you mentioned, I trained as a hypnotherapist. So, that's been fundamental in Canine Flow, is understanding how we can put that treatment to best use, really, to help our dogs as well. So there's, yeah, all these different courses that I did, I kind of pulled it all together. And you know, a lot of it has been experience. It has been experience. I also trained as a talent and T-touch practitioner, which I'm sure some of your listeners will have heard of. And I went up to the what they call the P2. It's P instead of levels. So
Right.
practitioner 2 status, and some of that work is linked in with my Canine Flow as well. But the Canine Flow is unique in its own right. So it's sort of, I've kind of amalgamated a lot of different learnings and experiences that I've had with dogs and with people. And I was literally running these retreats and transforming the lives of canine guardians and their
That's
dogs.
outstanding. Outstanding.
And they essentially said to me, we want to do what you do. Like, so I was faced with this. I wasn't just doing it. I had to actually work out precisely what I was doing and how I could teach somebody else, which is another thing altogether. It's one thing being able to make those transformations and to support people, but to teach others to do it is quite a big thing. So that was a huge leap for me. But it's worked out very, very well. And I have some tremendous practitioners, really lovely people.
I could call you doctor. You know,
No.
she's like a doctor, Smooth.
Oh yeah, I had a question because you touched on a little something tonight when you was talking about hypnotherapy with the animals. Are there's induction techniques designed specifically for canines?
So what I find fascinating with this is that once we had the hypnotherapy audios that I had created professionally in a studio and everything, and we played them to a deaf dog, and the behavior changed. So what is going on there?
Right.
Do we need certain procedures and techniques, or is something else happening there? So yeah, that was phenomenal for me.
And I was
So
wondering, yeah, how do you get them to the point of relaxation so they get induced?
so do you know what? A lot of dogs are very tense in the body and they don't feel grounded. A lot of dogs don't get on planet Earth very often, believe it or not. So they
Mm.
might be trotted on a pavement that's sealed in some way. So they're not actually connecting with grass or sand, or, you know, many dogs do, but a lot of dogs don't. And they need lots of grounding, dogs. So when we do with the hypnotherapy, we're releasing a lot of tension in the dog's body. And that is a big part of it.
Yeah,
You get them into that comfortable stage, kind of
Yeah.
like an the escalator or whatever in Elmsley induction. Got it. Okay.
So you know what? Someone might be unaware. They may actually don't know when they think holistic dog care, you know, what it entails and what is holistic dog training. So explain that for someone who really just hearing this for the first time.
Well, it is the other, I call it the other half of the dog training. So we're looking at feelings and emotions and the dog's connection on a soul level, which is strong. And throughout the experiences that I've had, I've come to believe that that is actually at the root of behaviors anyway. And that when we use our more mind based, more inside the dog's mind, thinking dog psychology, we're more sort of sticky plastering over what's happening. Rather than actually getting to the root of it, which is the dog's emotions and their soul energy. So that's what it is really. It's the other half of the story, and they complement each other. So you can still use practical management techniques, and you can still have certain commands that you might want to ask your dog to listen to at certain times.
Mm-hmm.
But when you use the soul based stuff and the energy and the emotional based stuff, you tend to find that they don't do the things that you would usually need to manage anyway.
Interesting. You know, some people overlook the signs of communication that a dog is telling them. And, you know, it is important that we listen to our dog. But someone might not know that their dog needs therapy with you or not. What will be some of the signs that our dog isn't healthy, happy, or that they're trying to communicate with us?
Well, firstly, you would see anxiety, I think. You would see some level of anxiety. Also, it could be even just as simple as whining.
Mm.
Could be whining is something that's almost like a dog is holding in. He really wants to be a good boy, but he still feels this level of anxiety, and he's trying to send his emotion out somehow. So he uses whining to do that, and he uses sound to do that, which it's a vibration. It's sending out that sound. So could be that. Any behavior really that impacts you and your way of living is worth looking at, in terms of is there something happening for the dog that's making him feel uncomfortable in some way? Does he feel safe? It could be a whole range of different behaviors,
Mm.
really.
So,
um, if you've got a dog, like health wise as well, symptoms to think about that we may not necessarily think need veterinary visits could even be things like tear staining.
mm.
These are often a sign that there's a candida yeast in the dog's body, or that the stomach isn't functioning as optimally. If a dog has got what's known as a sensitive stomach, this is a dog that needs fresh food. And so that is very easily solvable when a dog has fresh food. So little things like that we might just think, oh, it's just how the dog is. Actually, it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be. They can be without the tear staining. They can be without the sensitive stomach. Even joint pain. We tend to sort of see dogs as old before their time, and cats too. Actually, we tend to think of them as old when actually they may only be 9 or 10 years old, and they
Wow.
may actually have years left. So yeah, when we really understand that the longevity of pets can be increased when we work with them to change their body, transform their body into a more natural state. And we do that partly through the diet, and reducing the toxic load, reducing the chemical load. But also, this other half that I talk about, this soul connection, is so, so strong. And I have known people who have used the chemicals and fed processed food continuously, but yet that soul connection with their dog so strong that the dog has gone on to live to sort of 16, 17 with very little ailments. So I think often we miss out that kind of soul connection, that energy, emotional connection. It is very powerful, that emotional connection. And dogs really do pick up on how we feel and how the family feels and how they're treated.
Well, if our pet is part of our family, I look at it like this. If you eat healthy, your dog should eat healthy. Your dog needs walking and exercise, all of these things, including the mind. If your stomach hurts, something's wrong. So your dog is trying to tell you. I'm going to play this little video. Missy Boxer, she wanted to participate and have a question for you. So I'm going to let Missy Boxer ask her question for you right here.
Miss Caroline, is it okay if me and Queen Silvy eat chocolate chip cookies? Yum.
Amazing.
She just wanted to know, is it okay to eat chocolate chip cookies? And I'm like this, I reward myself. And well, I reward her too. Is it good to give your dog treats and reward them treats?
Not with, I wouldn't say with sugary treats like that, no, or with chocolate.
Right,
ideally.
right. Well, the cooked chocolate chips are mine. She wants some, but I'm like, no, you have to ask, can you have chocolate chip cookies? But she can't.
Do you know, without the chocolate, I'm sure a dog could eat the odd cookie and be totally fine if they were usually on healthy food.
And she likes snickerdoodles.
Right. She likes
it's that getting them on healthy food the rest of the time. That's the key.
Right. So, when you mentioned about the eating, the pets and the eating, I know that traditional and old fashioned training, they only really focus on the behavior and the beliefs that dogs don't have emotions or feel pain. I think that's not true. They do. But when it comes to food, traditional dog food and raw food, you have over 20-year record of being able to convert a dog from traditional dog food to raw eating. So with that standing, explain the issues with traditional dog food and then explain the benefits of dog eating raw.
Okay, so for me, I think the easiest way to understand it is that raw food is fresh food. So it's not some weird other way that's come along and been made commercial. It's just feeding fresh food. And over here, we have a very famous chef, TV chef. I don't know if you know him in America. His name's Jamie Oliver. But he did a show on TV about kids and their school dinners. And he said, why are we feeding kids in our schools when we want them to learn and we want them to, to enjoy school and take in the information? Why are we feeding them junk food at lunchtimes? And so he did this campaign and the whole country got behind him and said, yes, Jamie, kids need fresh whole foods. And yet the other member of our family that we love just as much as our kids, dogs are part of the family these days, we are still feeding them, majority of people are still feeding them the processed food that we all got behind and said, no, children shouldn't be allowed this. And the dog's processed food is made of the same ingredients. So it's usually quite high in grain, or if it's not got grain, it's got potatoes and lentils and other things that dogs don't find as easy to cope with on a long-term basis. It's basically processed food. And even if dogs didn't have raw, even if they just had lightly cooked meats and vegetables, so let's take out all those fears, unfounded fears in commercial raw food, I will say, but let's take those fears out the picture. Fresh, lightly cooked meat and a certain amount of plant material has to be better than processed food. We know ourselves that we feel better when we have a lovely roast dinner. I bet you make a mean roast dinner, actually.
Yes.
But we do not feel as good if we go out for a pizza. We just don't. We know this. So it's about then how do we switch to fresh foods, or how do we start adding fresh foods into the bowls for our dogs? Because I think there's too much propaganda about the word raw dog food and it moves it away from what it really is, which is basically feeding fresh food. And it is much easier, I will say, to get the nutritional balance correct when you feed the fresh food to your dog in its raw state. It is easier to get the balance correct, but that doesn't mean that you can't feed fresh food in its lightly cooked state.
Are you getting it from like the butcher? Or, I mean, like, this is an
That's
increase in the
probably
budget now
not what you
because the
wanna
dog
do.
is eating raw,
Yeah.
right?
You know what? Do you know what? The cost is a factor. But what we need to be saying is, why is it so cheap to feed processed food? I mean, this is the thing. This is why those schools were feeding the kids or offering the options for the children were processed food.
Mm-hmm.
And the mum said, actually, no, we'd rather they had fresh food. And the school said, but we can't afford that. We don't have the budget for that. So, you know, this we need to really, I think, have a proper rethink about where we're putting our funds.
Absolutely.
Because we're putting funds into clothing or into coffees or, you know, actually really fundamentally good, lovely water and decent fresh food and decent nutrition is going to keep us far more healthy, and we won't spend as much on medical care.
You know what? Let me just say this real quick. Smooth is gonna have something. You said it earlier about the dog with the runny eyes as a sign of telling you something. And I've heard and learned that if you're feeding your dog just any type of traditional dog food and their eyes is running like that, that's because you're not looking at those ingredients. Corn is one of the things, you know, your dog can't have from the corn allergy. So I see your point and feel you with the raw. We've tried it with Missy. Then we went and spent this really expensive dry dog food. And I'm like, for the price of that, we can go to the butcher and get like the scrap meats and all. So we do like chicken and rice. They love rice. Is rice good?
It's not ideal.
Oh,
There's very little nutrition in rice.
really?
Even for people. I mean, are you feeding brown rice for a start, or is it white rice?
White.
Yeah, there's very it's like fast, yeah. It's like fast energy. So it will give them like that initial spurt of energy, but it's not gonna sustain them. It's not ideal. And it can have nutrients in it, sorry, not nutrients, but molecules in it, which would predispose them to release more insulin. And that's not great for a more carnivorous being. And let's face it, our dogs are not complete omnivores. Whatever some studies will say about their ability to digest starches, they are not complete omnivores. They are way nearer the carnivorous end of things, physiologically, biologically. So yeah, it's not great to put rice.
So when you're transitioning and you're switching. Okay, so when you're transitioning and you're switching from traditional to raw, are you just feeding just bowls of raw? What other things contribute to making that a healthy
complete meal?
Yeah, complete meal for the.
Do you know what? What I would say to anyone that wants to make a switch like that is go to a really good dog food store that knows what they're talking about and buy ready-made complete meals. So you might be able to do it online in the USA, but don't like, we could be here. I do like 2-year diploma courses for people so they know how to make recipes for dogs. So they're all so individual that as long as you're on the fresh understanding,
Right.
then you can do it how you want to do it. You can do DIY like you're doing. It is going to be a lot cheaper, but you need support to do that to make sure that you get the balance right.
Absolutely.
Whereas if you go to a ready-made, ready-to-go food, defrost and feed fresh food, that's done for you. It's so much easier.
That sounds even better. Yeah.
And really it helps dogs to feel better. And when a dog feels calmer and has all the nutrients that nourish his nervous system, he can ground better. And that is a dog that is less likely to have sudden behaviors, or is less likely to be bouncy and jumpy. They just seem to be grounded and calmer when they're on fresh food.
Interesting. Smooth, you had something.
Oh, I had a question from a viewer, and it was from Robert. And Robert wanted to know if you had a few bonding techniques to try with his golden retriever.
Yeah, so I would want to know a little bit more. So I hope these are going to be useful, because usually I would ask a little bit more and then I'd be able to tailor make it. But we have something in Canine Flow called the acceptance technique, which I love. Okay, and it's about understanding where your dog's heart center is in their body. Now it's roughly here, okay, but they have another one so between their shoulder blades. So if a dog is pleased to see you when you come home from wherever you've been out somewhere, and he's pleased to see you, what I encourage people to do is, often dogs, and especially a golden retriever, is probably going to get a toy or something. They usually like to stuff something in their mouths. So actually, off track, but second tip, I'm still on my first one, but in the middle of my first one, you've already got more. The second tip is, make sure that your golden retriever can ground on something. Make sure he's got a soft toy or a squishy tea towel, or a sock of yours is even better, because it's got your energy on it, that he can ground on and hold in his mouth, because they love to do that. That will help him. That will help him feel safer. But yeah, what I would say to do when you come in from somewhere, or even if you're walking along with him and he gets excited about something, first of all, just run your hand down his back and then pause it at his tail, at his base of his spine, and he should sit. Okay, and then you lift that hand up so it's behind the shoulder blades, and then you put the other one here, so you're holding him like this. And if you need to, that top hand can go back down his back and get him to sit again. So you're not forcing him down, you only have to put your hand there, and usually a dog will sit, especially if you've got this hand here, and you let him lean into you. And what you're doing is you're accepting his emotional energy, because that emotional energy is flooding through him in that moment. He's attracted to you magnetically. He wants to be near you, and he wants to give you his emotion. He's so happy to see you. And if he sees a dog in the street, normally most dogs will want to go towards that other dog. It's like two magnets coming together, because the dogs has the biggest heart per body mass of any creature on the planet. So they're like walking magnets. They literally want to go to the next magnet. So he's trying to give you his energy. So you take his energy and you say, thank you, I'll take it. I'm your person, I love you. And you just take it, and they feel that it's amazing.
I agree. Amazing. Missy Boxer loves that, and that is what we do. That chest area right up in there, when we touch it, she does come right into you. She'll rub all on you. She's such a baby, but that is my baby. And
she sounds great. Do you know what, though? It's interesting you say that, because that kind of dog that has the broad shoulder, we would naturally do that. Whereas a golden retriever, they're hunched differently, aren't they? So we might not necessarily be doing that with our golden retriever, or with a dog like a boxer. They tend to be quite proud, and they lift up their head, don't they? And they let us do that, and they say, here, have my energy. Whereas a golden retriever with the pointy nose, they often ground differently, and they ground sort of down and out, so it's slightly different energy flow. So that's amazing, because you've just taught me that, really, because that makes total sense of why that dog would do that. He would do that. So I hope those two things are really useful.
Very much so, indeed. And I hope it helps. What is his name? Robert. Hopes Robert helps Robert out.
I wonder what the dog's name is.
I don't know.
Robert, if you're still listening, please send us the name of your dog. We would love to shout him or her out as well. Now, you said...
You know what the other thing is, real quick, Queen, and I wanted to touch on it, and she had touched on it, Caroline, is, it is expensive to maintain a healthy diet for your pet. And it bothers me when people... I would take the time to feed your dog proper. Take the time and the expense to bed your dog proper. Take good care of your dog. Get it to the vet just as you would to any other family member. Yeah. Or why do you even have him?
Right.
Her. It makes no sense to me. And the other part of it is sometimes I get a little upset and you might not even want to touch this, breeders, when they just overbreed animals, and now I've got, and shelters just filled with pets that need to be adopted. And that's how we get our last 3 dogs were adopted.
Yeah.
And it's because I can't stand that.
Yeah.
I think dogs are overbred and people don't know how to handle them, or it's a whim moment, just kind of like during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And now these shelters are just blamming with, unwanted dogs. Well, why? Make that decision beforehand that you really want that family member, because it truly is a family member.
Do you guys have shelters overflown with pets that's waiting to be adopted over in the United Kingdom?
So we do have, we also have dogs coming in from countries like Romania and Ukraine at the moment. So we have a fair amount of dogs coming, but we also have a lot of dogs people that want dogs that are finding homes.
Right.
That helps.
So yeah, we have a lot of really dog crazy people over here. They're not crazy, really. It's fantastic, and they will have 4 or 5 dogs.
Right, right.
No trouble.
Right.
And they will have their own living room, and yeah.
We know several over in United Kingdom are definitely passionate about their pets, their babies, their fur babies, whichever name you want to call it, but they really are. And I love and respect that. I learned from that, and I spread that here because, it's terrible to, for one thing, when dogs are in these kennels, chances are they're getting traditional food. Are they not all giving them all raw food? So for someone who does get a dog from a rescue, or if you have a dog now and it's traditional and you want to transition and make a healthy, happy dog who can be around and be your companion for life, listen, we're going to give you information in a minute where you can get more, get connected, ask questions, and come aboard. You can join the retreat where you are if you're not in United Kingdom. But listen, I say Dr. Caroline Griffith is here for you. Now, for Canine Flow, for these retreats that's beneficial for not just the pet, but for the pet parent as well, tell everybody what they can expect.
On the retreats, lots of fun and laughter and friendship, definitely. People make lasting friendships on these retreats, and they come again and again to the retreats. Wanting to see, the same people that were there last year. So we do dog walks as well, like group dog walks out in the lovely Welsh countryside, which is, just fabulous. Very great. It's great for fresh air. There's, that sort of thing. And, you just feel good just being there sometimes. There is very limited EMF signals there. So when you're in the building, you can get on the building's Wi-Fi where we all stay, but outside of it, it's dubious. So that's fantastic for a retreat because you need a break from all those frequencies.
To focus.
Yeah. So we sing mantras to our dogs as well. We meditate with our dogs, and we learn canine flow techniques. So we will do something like the acceptance technique. We will learn about that. We understand our dog's energy on the retreat. So we're sort of seeing them from that other point of view. So you somebody might be watching this that feels like they've tried every training method going, but unless you've actually gone to the other half of the dog training side of things and looked at their soul and their emotions and who that dog truly is, underneath all the mind and neuro pathway and psychology information, then you definitely haven't tried everything. So this is like a huge part of it. So it's learning about that. Many people want to learn, which is why I did the online course, because there's a lot of people who can't travel to the UK for the retreats. So the online is perfect.
It is.
To learn the techniques.
It really is. And so I'm going to add some visual to it and show you just beautiful, beautiful animals, beautiful dogs, happy. They are so calm. There's one picture where the dog's in the bed just looking like he's just having happy dreams. I was like, wow. So sit back and check out a little sample of just what to expect when you're at the retreat with Canine Flow and Caroline Griffith. Ooh, look at this. There you have it.
There it
Wow.
is.
Amazing. Oh my God. I feel like they're all my little friends.
Wow. Have you ever had a dog that was just like, you just
Didn't want to
hard- yeah,
participate.
a difficult client?
Oh, well, I would scared, anxious. Yeah, and do you know what we did? And it was amazing. The lady sat with the dog outside and she had her head through the window. She listened, she did all the stuff too. And she did the spiral work that we do with them. She did the acceptance technique. She heard it all. We did all the same observations for tension, all that kind of thing. And she worked with her dog just the same. And I went and did a hypnotherapy session with the dog. I think it was on like the second half of the retreat at some point anyway. And it shifted quite a lot for the dog. So on the last morning, it was amazing to see that the dog actually came in and didn't feel anxious about being then in the room with the other people and their dogs. So there's always a way. I mean, these dogs don't sign the form for the retreat,
Right.
you know, guardians do. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, the
there's
food
always a
looked
way.
great too, by the way. I was like,
Oh
was
my
that
God, the
cheesecake?
food.
And dogs get cheesecake. What's up with that?
Yeah.
Was that
They
doggy
don't
cheesecake?
They don't get the cheesecake. No, we do have freezers though. If you bring your fresh dog food, we do have freezers. The food is so nice. I literally think someone organises these retreats for me because don't forget I get to eat this as well. And it's literally the loveliest food. The lady who makes it is a naturopath.
Ah,
And so she's like qualified in how to make food that makes you healthy.
wow. And that looks
It's
delicious.
so nice.
Delicious.
It's proper nice.
Okay, so for these retreats, they're usually for maybe 5 days, right? So does this go on online at the same time when you're there? You're sharing it online live with them there, or is it separate? An online retreat is separate than the in-person retreat?
Yeah, it is completely separate actually. I haven't really found a way to film the retreats and the sound doesn't work
Mm-hmm.
ideally. So it's an online course, but you get me as support throughout it, and it's video based. So I'm sending you the videos. When you send your work back, I send a video of me discussing the work that's part of the retreat. So you get that as well, that feedback. We have meetings as well. So because I do appreciate that a lot of courses you just get the content and you're just left for yourself, and I didn't want that to be the case. And what you will also do is set up with your phone or whatever, like little videos of you doing the canine flow practices, and then you send them back to me. So it's quite
I like that.
Yeah, it's integrative, and also it is also because I love to see the dogs. Like I would not do this kind of work if I didn't love the dogs. So I like to be able to see that at the beginning of the course Monty was anxious, and here's Monty at the end of it, and he's really cool and chilled, and I love to see that. It just makes me feel amazing to know that I've been able to support a guardian to learn something that will go beyond Monty or go to the next dog that guardian owns as well.
I think that is so fantastic. And I know someone's wondering right now, well, where do I sign up? How do I get information? Is this all year round also, by the way? Like the online, is there a certain time frame that you do that versus in person? How does that go?
The online course can just be whenever someone is ready. Yeah.
Cool. How can they get more information and contact you for that?
It's on the Canine Flow website. So it's just the www.canineflow.com.
Okay. I like that. You like that, Smooth?
I like it.
I really enjoy my conversation with you. I've learned some things.
I like it.
I know Missy Boxer is right behind on outside of this door here listening because she usually does that when we're in studio.
Sneaks in and lays outside the door.
Mm-hmm. So that is good. Is there any, before I want to mention 2 books that you have, but before I do, pertaining to our conversation in Canine Flow, is there anything else that you want to add? I do know that you have a busy day today because today you also is going to be a part of Animal. Are you part of the World Animal Day today?
I am, yeah, 7:30 my time. So in an hour and a half. Yeah, we'll be talking, and actually it's a lady that's been on the retreat, and she's an animal healer, and she is going to be interviewing me about canine flow.
Cool.
So they do
Cool.
like, what do they call that? So they lay hands on the dogs and you like that?
Yeah, so
Mm.
this is where canine flow is slightly different, because canine flow, whilst it is about emotional energy moving through the body, it is actually quite sciencey, because I'm a bit of both, which is because as you mentioned, I'm a nutritionist as well. So I like the molecular side of things, but I recognize that that isn't the be all and end all of life. So with canine flow, I have kind of created it in a way that there is science behind what we do as well. So it's both. Yeah.
Well, here you have Claire. Oh, can't see her name. See, Tim, what is her name?
What's that?
Can you read her name? I can't. I don't have my glasses, so I can't see her name. Is it Claudia?
Claudia. Yeah.
Claudia is asking, what was that diamond square that the dog was in the middle of?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a pyramid, right? What is that, right?
Yeah.
Energy
that's,
channeling.
again, where it comes to, for me, that's maths based. Sacred geometry, you can't unadd up maths. It either adds up or it doesn't. So the geometry adds up to a certain figure of numbers, and that coding is in all of life. So they call it the Fibonacci sequence, and it is in all of life. So for me, that is science. We cannot take that away from life. It's like a creational code of life. And
Interesting.
those numbers, when you see those numbers written, when if you took the dimensions of that pyramid, those numbers are also the same numbers as certain sound frequencies as well. So when we say things like music makes me feel happy, we cannot then say that we don't believe in certain frequencies healing our bodies, and everyone will say they know they hear certain music, they feel a certain way. And yet
Well, I sure do
people who
too.
say that
Yeah.
will still also say that they don't believe it. So I think there's been a misunderstanding of what energy work actually is for a lot of the time, because it is quite provable when you look at it from certain aspects.
Wow. That's amazing.
So
It
that's
really
why
is
that's
amazing.
Well, I mean, if you really put it into perspective, I mean, the reason that our body functions is because of the electrical energy that we actually have inside of us.
Electromagnetic or magneto-electric.
Yes.
Really.
So let's,
We're more
okay.
magnetic.
So, and you are not really a solid mass. You are a mass of molecules that are being held together, and that's kind of how you look.
I love that. Yeah.
Scientist smooth over
But
there.
I mean, well, that's just keeping it real.
That's good.
And so, I mean, you can't discount. So sometimes the obvious can be inobvious, and inobvious is obvious, and it's those sounds and everything. You're right. Everything's relevant.
Yeah. Totally.
It's kind of hard to discount anything. I discount nothing.
Okay, so listen, before we go, let me just ask you this, because currently vaccinations is a hot topic for both human and the dog world. Right. So tell me about vaccinating our dogs. Is it good or bad?
So my mantra is protection over injection. Get them done as a puppy, then test for protection. Do something called a teeter or a titer test. Because if the protection's already there, you don't need to re-inject. You've achieved what you wanted to achieve. They're
Right.
non-mutatable diseases. They don't mutate like certain types of diseases do. They stay the same. So once that protection's there, don't need to keep doing
So
it.
if you don't know the protection and you adopted a dog, best bet is to
different.
give it good nutrition and build up their immune that way then, right?
If you just meet a dog and you don't know whether the protection's there, then I would have the teeter or titer test to find out.
Got it.
Yeah, and just ask your vet. And if your vet doesn't do it, ask the next vet, and just keep asking, because a vet will do this for you.
And do you and maintenance on your dog? Obviously you are a proponent of rabies vaccinations, and how about worming to keep your dog safe during the summer times and things like that?
Well, over here we're really lucky. We've got a lab called wormcount.com that you can send a stool sample, and they would tell you if your dog's got worms. And that is what I call proper evidence-based medicine. You get evidence the worms are there, you worm. If you get evidence there's no worms, you don't worm.
Got it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
I think they do kind of oversell that here in the States.
Yeah.
I mean, you go in.
They do here too. They do here too. I think it's because, well, we got to remember that these are products and they want to sell them.
Right.
You know, they're not actually there for the dog. They're for the profit of the company.
That's exactly right. And I call it false advertisement myself. But yeah, there's tricky how they get people to spend money and do this and do that, when really you just got to know your pet, know the signs, and do the right things like Canine Flow. That's perfect all around your dog in a nice, good, healthy way. I'm loving that.
I want to back into one more question since I spun into that one.
You got him going.
Now, how about the when you can buy the sergeants, like the little droplets for your dogs to keep off fleas and ticks? Now, is that any chemicals in there harmful for your dog? Again, something like that recommended.
I think
they could be, because every dog's different.
Right.
So they won't have been tested for every single dog. There's no way to do that. It's like the plug-in air fresheners and things like that. You can't test them for every dog. So they could be, but they're also pesticides, so they're not great for bees.
Right. Do you believe in?
That's why I asked. It's a pesticide,
right.
So come on, and you put it directly on your dog.
Do you believe in the essential oils, the 100%, the aromatherapies?
So I think the thing with fleas tend to be more on dogs that aren't so healthy. So the first thing is, what else can I do to make my dog super healthy? So fresh food, not putting in other chemicals like the wormers and that. They're all interrelated. And I think we need to sort of more take stock of, okay, what can we do that might be preventative, like neem oil is in a lot of natural flea products. Look into what you can get. And you may, as you said, you might be able to use its own essential oils as well. You might be able to, so there's no harm in doing any of those things as long as you use ones that are safe around dogs.
Right.
Which, again, there's people who could talk a whole hour on flea treatments,
right.
I'm sure, natural flea treatments. Nothing is, as I've seen it yet, nothing is completely and utterly going to completely get rid of the fleas or deter the fleas. But we need to work out why they're happening to the dog in question and individualize it, because I think with fleas, they do tend to go on certain dogs for a reason. And I would be looking at why is that happening rather than a blanket, yes, use this and it's a natural option.
Good question.
I agree with that.
Yes, I do.
I would agree with that.
See, we could just go on for days. We're pet owners, so we could talk like this, because you are the one, Caroline Griffith. She knows her stuff. She has a whole scroll full of accolades, accomplishments, education, knowledge, and Canine Flow. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that it's online. I'm going to actually look into that because I'm curious to see. The other dog that we have that we adopted, she's a Chorky. She's half Chihuahua and half Yorkie. And man, she's like an alarm clock. If a leaf fall outside, she barks.
Feisty little thing.
Yeah. So
she's a little lover,
opposite.
but she's as feisty as it gets.
Yeah, she's the opposite of Missy. They are two total different.
How old is
she has to be in human years about maybe 8.
Okay, so I would probably be looking at her paws. How connected to the ground is she? Because these little dogs, they get very tense, and they're like this, and they're not really grounding very well.
Well,
go on.
So what is it with her? Because I just say she's pretty. You let her outside. If the temperature isn't right, she doesn't want to walk on the ground. She doesn't want. No.
There's dew on the ground. She doesn't want to go out and pee.
No.
And they're well trained because they get excited. I got to go out and pee. And then as soon as their paw hits the little dew on the ground, it's like, nope, I'm out of this.
It's too cold. I can't. No, not right now. I'm like, got to get her boots and a jacket. I'm like, she's so pretty, man. But total opposite from Missy, but I love them both. They both are really great dogs. And your dog, Fuchsia, what type of dog is she?
Fuchsia, so we don't know. She's from the dog meat trade, but she's only little. She looks like she was in that photo. She looks like a little micro German Shepherd, I say.
Huggable and lovable.
That is a horrible, wait a minute, dog meat train.
Yeah, I never heard that.
Yeah. It's not ideal, is it? Yeah, people will eat dog in Asia, yeah.
Wow. Well, she's in the right hands.
That's just...
By all means. So listen, tell everybody how you can be followed on social media and again where they can go for more information as well as to sign up for our online or if you're in the United Kingdom an in-person retreat with Canine Flow.
Yeah, so if you head to the website, so www.canineflow.com, there's the dates of the UK retreats, there's the online course information, or if you just want to send me an email and say, can I support you with your dog in some way, or can one of my practitioners, then you're welcome to do that.
Okay. So for anyone, I want to first say that print has not occurred, but you still can get a hold of these two books. We're going to show these books. I don't know which one did you do first of the two books that you have. Which one do you have?
The Best Dog Diet. The Best Dog Diet came out in 2012.
There we are.
Then the other one was much later.
So for anyone who wants to get those books, because I think the diet book is important to learn how and what to put into your dog, and the other one as well, and we can get that on an online copy.
So the Best Dog Diet I have as an ebook.
Okay.
Definitely. The other one I don't, and it is out of print, although I've got 3 copies left in the whole wide world, and I was thinking about doing a competition. So the Best Dog Diet that's the one that's just about fresh food, really. The Imperfectly Natural is about vaccines, fleas, worms, all the other things you asked me, really.
We'll see.
It also has some behavior stuff in it. It has puppy info, so it's more a broad range of subjects.
Cool. So all you need to do is contact Caroline Griffith. Go to canineflow.com and get yourself connected. Ask any questions that you have for Caroline. I'm sure that she will be there to answer. Get signed up, but by all means, pass the word around to someone else who has a pet, because it's very beneficial. I mean, holiday season is coming. Grant your pet a gift and give them the calmness. It's really nice. Those dogs were so calm. I'm jealous. I'm like, gee. You're like, wow. But hey, I thank you so much, Caroline, for taking the time and being here on the show. We most definitely is going to be in touch with you, and I will share out just information on all the social media platforms and get it out there as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, cool.
Thank you very much. Have a good time this evening.
You too. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow.
Caroline Griffith.
Canine
Flow. She knows her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I wish I was over there just to go in person and see Missy graduate onto an even more calmer, healthier self. She's already calm, healthy, and happy. I mean,
she got it made. What are you talking about? She's the most spoiled dog I've ever seen in my life.
She's a princess, nevertheless.
That's what we're gonna call her.
A princess.
Princess. Why not? Yeah, we'll call her
she
princess.
can't have queen. I'm that. So we'll give her princess. She's a princess. But please, I enjoyed my conversation with Caroline Griffith, the founder of Canine Flow. Go get yourself connected, canineflow.com. Ask any questions. But by all means, wherever you are right now, wherever you're sitting, you can make a difference. You don't have to be in the United Kingdom. Boy, you can do it right now. Get the education. You will feel good. Your dog will feel good. You both will be happy.
Understand that dog takes a moment. I mean, you got to be around dogs a few years to get to understand their behavior patterns and what they're trying to tell you by the way they behave.
Absolutely.
And everything has a message, from the way they turn their back to you, the way they snort when you've told them off.
Well, if you don't have a pet, go and adopt a pet. There's so many lovable, great pets out here waiting to be adopted and to be into a home. You can do that. And if you say, well, I don't know what to do next, go to canineflow.com and ask Caroline Griffith, because she knows. She has the avenues, the tools right there for you. And I advise you to do that. And I thank you. And I actually thank you for being here, watching, listening, and learning some greatness that we provide for you. I have not forgotten my shout outs for this wonderful, terrific Tuesday on the Queen Silvy Show, and I most definitely will get those shout outs to you right now. Right?
Absolutely.
Hey, shout out to Kinsley Patinio, Queen Jenna, Queen Ashley, Follette Clark, and Kenneth Rouse. Shout out to you. Shout out to Helen and Peace Myers, Corey and Casey Patinio, Joan Mercer. Shout out to you. To Queen Aaliyah, Asia Tay, Maya, and Camille. Shout out to you. To my grandsons, he's my little Pooba Poo, Omari, as well as Jonathan Jr. and Tyron. Shout out to you, to Queen Sonia, Kaki, Shanika, Brianna, and Aaliyah, Alana, and Precious. Shout out to you, to Kelly and Ryan and the All American Boys, Matt and Tracy and the All American Girls. Shout out to you, to Patricia Wilhelm McGiffin, C. Shorty Franklin, Renita Easley, Gold Rosa, and Donna Ferry. Shout out to you. All the way in Africa, Amy Kanima, Websterito Hostile Flow, and the famous Hero Boy. Shout out to you. To my good queens, my good friends over in United Kingdom, Nicola Jones, Beth Lambert, Bethany Jones, and Kay Cross. Shout out to you. To Lorenzo Gabaniza, Miguel Montalban, Nana Linda Hartley. Shout out to you. To my good friend in the Netherlands, Edith Verhoek. Shout out to you. Sandra and Ben Johnson, Melody Gordab, Brian Pearson, Miguel Montalban. You got it twice, my friend. And Joe Mass. Shout out to you. Hey, 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 hey. If you would love to be shouted out, if you have someone that you love to be represented, simply hit me up at queensylvia@comic.com. Go to the website, thequeensylvieshow.com, or wherever you're viewing or listening to this, leave that message in there. Smooth, make sure we get it sent out, put in the right place, and we will represent.
Indeed.
Represent not only on Tuesdays for the multiple award-winning The Queen Silvy Show, every Wednesday with Tim's Tidbits, and every Thursday with the Now You Know Show with Queen Silvy and Smooth Tim. Smooth, anything you want to say?
No, ma'am.
All right. Hey, you know me. I'm fasting right now, and it's time for me to go and get my eating on. It's time to go and eat.
Correcto.
Go and feed the queen, so that I must do. But I want you to enjoy yourself. Make the most of your day. Tune in tomorrow for Tim's Tidbits with special co-host Larry E. out of Dallas, Texas area. And do not forget the Super Thursday with the Now You Know Show with Queen Silvy and Smooth Tim, bringing you some inspirational, encouraging, and even funny segments from some fantastic people all over the world just for you. And both shows, Wednesday and Thursdays in the evenings, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do check your time zones, but do tune in. So, with that said,
Till next week.
That's right.
Same Queen time.
Hey.
Same Queen station. We'll holla.
Bye-bye.